My game is already on Eva's special night. We're gonna start things off on one of the normal maps. Maybe we get some of the other maps to see as well. I really liked Moonwater in the previous series, but obviously all of them are fine. Whatever they want. Goblin is obviously aiming for a win. When I made this match, Eva said, can do it, but it's gonna be tough. And I said, we need some fighting words, mate. And he said he will send Goblin back to the 2v2 tournaments. I was like, oh. Let Goblin know. Goblin was laughing. But obviously these two are very friendly with each other. They have known each other for a long time. I'm ready. It seems that Indy is ready. TKL is also joining us. A little bit of friendly banter. Born in 2009. Yeah, that sounds ridiculous. Like in 2009, I was in Korea casting a Warcraft 3 tournament. Hanging out with Todd, Apollo, Midigan, whatever his name was, from Scotland. Lil Susie, Tasteless and Artosis. The Gum TV. Norton Antivirus Invitational. That's what I was doing in 2009. And that is apparently the year that this man was born. And at midnight he finally turned 16, and that is when he will be eligible to play in the Big Brain Bouts. And hopefully, within a week, we'll know something bigger from ESL, EWC. Next week, guys, we'll probably have a lot to talk about. Midian, yeah. I was so jealous of Midian because he had a Breitling. And I thought it was very cool. He was a poker player back then. He was obviously a Brood War guy, and then he started playing poker, and he was playing mostly poker in Korea. Very nice dude. I had a good time hanging out with him. Goblin apparently got the UI bug. It's one of the random things that happens with some of the mods. It's all good. Let's do it. One last time tonight. It's been a lot of yapping for me. 4 hours and 30 minutes. But I think it's been a fun evening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Last series was excellent. Let's hope this one is good too.
Let's get it on.
Round 1. Fight.
In the top right side, it is our UK Zerg. He's not at Epic Land this time. And in the past, obviously, we did have him during some of the Epic Land Big Brain Bouts. Tonight has been a bit of Epic Land. Jumi won an Epic Land once upon a time. Roscoe has gone to many. And this kid has gone to quite a few as well. But he's going to spend the weekend with family. Celebrate with family. It's Eva, turning 16 at midnight. Bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of the man who had a surprising defeat against Chem not too long ago and then also lost against Nikorok. So the Big Brain Bouts hasn't been mega kind to him, but he's always excited, he always gladly accepts, and he always wants to put on a show. It is Platinum Heroes Goblin, and of course was part of Team Roddy for a long time. If you can't get drones with oracles, it's worth getting larva or better to save energy. I would say it's situational. If you can get 3 larva for absolutely nothing, like no real damage in the oracle, I'd say that's good. If you can get 1 and you have to spend 25 energy to turn Pulse or Beam on, and that's all you can do, and you maybe take some damage, then it's not good. I'd say if you can get 3 very early into the game, yeah, it's probably worth it. If Zerg is on 4 bases, then I wouldn't do it. I think Zombie Grub had an interview with... Next, he recently posted the interviews he did with Eon Blue as well. I haven't seen it, but I believe that I read the tweet. I guess I'm next. I also did a little interview with Zombie Grub last Home Story Cup. Eva snipes the probe of Goblin rather early. And he's hitting him with the question mark. I might put it on tonight, Eon Blue. How long is it? There's a lot of things that I want to watch. I saw that Magnus Carlsen also did a podcast with Joe Rogan. Now, I don't like all the Joe Rogan podcasts, but one with Magnus Carlsen I would actually gladly put on. I don't know. I find Magnus Carlsen pretty interesting, so kind of want to watch it. Maybe we'll put that one on tonight. I still didn't watch Jerry on Netflix, no. I've been watching Silo. That's what I'm currently into. It's something I can enjoy together with Vicky. She likes it. We're currently in season 2. As soon as Silo is over, maybe I can fire on Jerry. And then we can watch a couple of podcasts. Yep, I saw that... I mean, obviously more and more chess players will get picked up by esports orgs, right? Anything that's part of the esports World Cup will get picked up by the biggest orgs out there. And that is why Esports World Cup is such a big deal for StarCraft 2. It's not just that we have one big event in the summer. It's the fact that teams will be interested in picking up players. And if players get picked up, they get really good support. Like, players become very valuable. It's very simple. If StarCraft 2 is not at the Esports World Cup, StarCraft 2 players are not very valuable. Because our scene is not that massive. Obviously, we've got a dedicated small fan base, but it's not enough for the big teams to justify big investments. But if we are the Esports World Cup, then it will be justifiable, and all the players are going to eat well and they will cook. Basilisk, any plans on chess? You never know. You'll never know, matey. It's always possible. I said in the past that I think everything is possible, but we need the right time and the right place, and you need to find the right candidates, right? Is there a second season of Silo? Yes, that's what I'm currently watching. I didn't even know that the first season was that old, mate. It is correct, Miss Crimson. I agree with you, but in the end, that doesn't matter. If StarCraft gets selected at the Esports World Cup, it is a very, very, very big deal for all the pro gamers out there. Even semi-pro gamers. People can return. Because teams will gladly offer 60, 70, 80, 90, $100,000 a year to get good StarCraft 2 players on board. Because they can spend 100k to then potentially win $1 million, or 2 million, or 3 million. So that's why it's so important. And we'll know within a week. But yeah, I'm not going to argue with you. Obviously, StarCraft 2 is not League, it's not Dota, it's not Valorant. StarCraft is small compared to many of the other games out there. But if you get selected for the Esports World Cup, it is very, very good news for all the pros and semi-pros out there. Next week, we'll have a lot to talk about, guys. So far, Eba playing quite sharp. Has only lost 2 drones in the first 6 minutes over ley lines. Hello, YBC. He's gonna be happy with that, guys. He's getting all over adepts as well. Our 15-year-old Zerg, the man who's turning 16 tonight, looking pretty good here. He's played a crazy amount of Protoss. I would not be surprised to see him play Protoss in this series. But here in Game 1, his Zerg is looking pretty damn good. I believe Eba has been Grandmaster League since he was 12. So it's been 4 years of this kid being Grandmaster League. Silo books are good. I didn't even know there were one. Or were any. Yep, 8 gates finishing up as Eba has dropped the Hydralisk Den and an infestation pit. Goblin already dropping a fleet beacon. I'm expecting Goblin to not necessarily play the most entertaining best of 5. I think at this point Goblin will just look at this and be like, I need a win. Losing against Shem shouldn't have happened to Goblin. Losing against Nikorok can happen, but probably in his eyes should not have happened. Tonight Goblin is probably not here to really entertain us. He's here to win 150 bucks. And that is his right. Does drop a revelation. He's gonna blink forward, gonna apply some pressure. Eba has 41 Zerglings with +1 melee. He's going to activate the stasis trap. He gets a little grab on the Stalkers. Goblin doing quite good. Eba, going up too high, then sneaking out Hydras. I think he's fine, but it's often a thin line, right, between being fine or suddenly running out of steam, and then the Stalker pressure becomes overwhelming and it becomes a little bit too much to deal with. Another stasis trap is going to go up. Eba is trying to activate it immediately, but a lot of links do get stuck. Can Goblin get on top of the Queens and the Hydras? Can he just end things here? Eba's on 81 drones, so he can absolutely afford to lose a couple. Goblin blinks forward again. Is this the moment where the reinforcements of the Zerg can finally make the difference? The wraparound is very good. I think that was acceptable for Eba. Losing the Queens is painful, but he's getting a lot of Stalkers. Eba holds. Whew, that was close. That was close. Eba holds with a mothership already on the way. And very little creep. Hydra count 8, link count 26. Goblin may be struggling a little bit there with a Stalker rally point, but he gets away with it as Eba decides to disengage. Goblin is definitely applying a crazy amount of pressure. Only 4 queens remain for Eba. Hydra count is a lot higher now, but he does not have Hydra range yet. As the Hydras don't have range, they have a tougher time fighting Stalkers. Links coming in from the bottom left, grab a few Stalkers. Actually a very active back game so far. Goblin showing us He can still play a fast game as well if he has to. He's got one Oracle. One Oracle died. 108 Zerglings have died on the side of Iba 9 minutes in. I missed that message, so I can't respond to it. I'm sorry. But obviously, guys, once more, next week, I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. I'll be here and I'll give my takes and my opinions, and I'll be happy or sad or celebrate, or we'll whip out the tissue box. We should know next week, and I know I've said this before, then time is kept on getting pushed back, but I think this time these timers are very real. The revelation has landed. Goblin is attacking with pure solid Stalker, but here comes the Mothership. Mothership can drop a time warp. Lurkers are done though. Couple of Lurkers should be good enough for Iba to protect this fourth base. While all the action has taken place on the top side of the map, Goblin has been able to secure this base at the bottom. Another revelation lands. Goblin saves the Oracle. Lurkers are getting close to seismic spines. Hydras think about chasing down the Mothership. It's a lot of action. It's way more action than I kind of expected. I thought Goblin would play a bit of a defensive style with a lot of Stargates early on, a couple cannons, batteries, a couple storms, but Goblin is threading a very thin line between Stalker aggression and still transitioning into that late game Protoss stuff. It's a risky business, but he's getting away with it. Yeah, Stalkers have been mega active. Goblin blinks forward, kills one of the Lurkers, but Iba was very quick to reposition them. There's no queens to transfuse this hatchery, and the hatchery dies. That's a big pickup. Iba does have a new hatchery up and running on the right side, 3 o'clock. Not necessarily dreams in dust. If it was very easy to come to an agreement, if it was very easy to lay out a plan, then yes. But no. Like a couple of the games that got announced last week were also games that were already part of EWC before. There's just a lot of things that happen behind the scenes when it comes to negotiations between tournament organizers and publishers of the games. No, not necessarily. Iba has high for a long time, mate. Iba got a very quick high. When he had 81 drones and he was defending his fourth base, he already fired up the hive like 8 minutes into the game. He's got seismic spines on the Lurkers. He's got Hydra. Does he not have adaptive talents? Is this? Am I crazy? No, this is the Hydra speed upgrade, no? So we have Hydra launch, but he doesn't have adaptive talents? Yeah, Hydra dash. Okay, that's a bit odd, but sure. Yeah, this is the regular Hydra speed, and then this is the dash. And this is range. And now he's getting adaptive talents. There we go. So that's the one upgrade that maybe he could have had a bit quicker, but obviously Iba has been under an immense amount of pressure. Goblin doing a good job right here in splitting up his army. Wondering if he can crack the defenses of Iba wide open. Sitting on a decent amount of money, Goblin that is. Maybe wondering what to spend it on. It's taking a little look at the army of Iba. How many Hydras are we looking at? How many Lurkers are we looking at? Very action-packed game one of the main event. 30 minutes in, and Iba says, mate, what you can do, I can do too. If you're gonna split up your army, perhaps I should do the same thing. Sometimes that goes very well for the Lurker player, sometimes that goes horrible. This fight here, a couple of the High Templars seemed like they were in a bit of danger. The Nexus is gonna take some damage. In the end, Goblin doesn't have an answer for the Lurkers. Losing a lot on the ground here, Goblin that is, but it is good enough in the end for the air units, as Mothership Cloaking is going to keep the final Archon safe. And Iba now forced to remake 16 Hydras, and Iba doesn't really have the economy to be trading blows like this. Standing in the center of the ring, as he loads up a couple of Lurkers, he's going to try to drop them. It's a really cool gameplay coming out of Iba. Kind of feels to me Goblin got himself in a spot that's a little bit too good. And this Lurker positioning is awesome. Okay, the Storm is great. The Zealots had an incredibly tough time actually getting some hits off, but that is where the Immortal and the Archons will come in handy. A couple of Hydras working on the Cybercore in the front. He really wants that Cybercore and he gets it. Big snipe. And he dashes away. Eva's actually doing an excellent job here. And now, after sniping the Cyber Core, maybe +1 carriers is something we can deal with. We're gonna have another fight in the bottom right side. Not much of a fight. Seems like it was a bit of a massacre, but Zerg is doing very good over here in the natural, grabbing the surround. That's only 2 High Templars. Eva can fight that as well, as he does eat a couple of storms to the face. I mean, it feels like an unfair fight with how rich Goblin is. And if obviously this game slows down, Goblin, his economy is gonna carry him here, but Eva finding some good pickups. Is it enough though? You guys know that I'm gonna talk about the Viper eventually throughout this series. The Viper is a hot topic. Some of the Zergs really don't believe in it. Eva has also been memeing a couple of the games that I was casting over the last few weeks about Vipers and how it's just not gonna make a difference. The thing is, if you don't have any, it's gonna be very hard to get in range of these carriers. And the double Cybercore coming out of Goblin. Even trying to take this center base. It's definitely becoming a pretty intense Big Brain Bouts, no? A couple of long games, very action-packed games. It's not like I'm sitting here not doing anything. Shout out, by the way, to the Falling Ninja for the 100 bits. Woohoo! Lynx, Lurkers, and Hydras battling a couple of Zealots. Eva also sending Lynx and Lurkers into the bottom base and then hitting us with maybe some Lurker drops in the natural and the main. He is creating an insane amount of chaos. Goblin is just kind of trying to take care of one problem at a time. He got the Lurkers, he gets the Nexus. He's gonna push this main army away. Is he dealing yet with the Lurker drops? Not quite. He should be able to eventually. How much detection do we have? We have 2 Oracles and 1 Observer. Gonna take a little while, and Goblin has actually lost a lot of probes, 19 of them in total. 1 more Lurker is even gonna get dropped over here. Gotta say, I feel like Eva is pulling out all the stops and he's really making some excellent moves, but I'm afraid he's just not gonna get rewarded. I think in the end, Goblin got himself in a good spot, got ahead. And Micro can win fights, but Macro will win the games. Eva's gonna spend his piggy bank now on 15 Corruptors. But they obviously won't have the upgrades. Can hide about. Just way too many carriers. 172 supply against 118 Corruptors. I mean, Eva is gonna have to take the fight of his life and then absolutely grab everything and throw it all at Goblin at once. Get into the main natural. Seems impossible. But a tiny, tiny chance, and he's even giving us the Reynor Infestor, but then a Viper. I love it. We have not made a Viper in 17 minutes, but after 17 minutes, our 15-year-old Zerg is turning 16 at midnight. Will at least give us 1 Viper to talk about. Corruptors get on top of some of the carriers. Goblin recalls the carriers to his main army. Takes out the base, and Eva is just going for some of the bases of Goblin, but Goblin got a lot of cannons. He's got 10 cannons, 3 batteries. And warp in a High Templar, use energy recharge. Banger game. But it seems like it's gonna go Goblin's way. Unless Goblin truly starts making some very questionable decisions and lose 1 carrier at a time, lose 1 base at a time, lose 1 High Templar at a time. I don't think the Zergs really believe in Shroud as long as there are High Templars or Disruptors. Now Disruptors you very rarely see because Disruptors kinda suck. But yeah, Zergs don't really believe in the Shroud against the High Templars, especially now with energy recharge being a thing. Eba has been battling. Eba definitely gave it his all. Here in game 1. In the end it will go in Goblin's favor. Strong game by Goblin. Very action-packed, very dynamic. Did a great job in splitting up his army and expanding non-stop. Continued to apply pressure. Can definitely not say that Eba's mom raced the quitter, because our kid is still going 19 minutes in. 50 supply, and Eba says, I heard no bell. Lands on a duck, kills the mothership, but this one is over. You know it's over, I know it's over. I think at this point Eba knows it's over as well. After 19 minutes, it's a 1-0 lead for Goblin. But honestly, fun first game. Eva stares in that mirror tonight and he sees a Rottweiler staring back at him. Staring back at him, rather. Still has that dog in him. But it's a 1-0 lead for Goblin. Jumi, by the way, full of adrenaline, is not gonna call it a Feierabend yet. Instead, he is asking the world to queue for 2v2. So guys, if you've got a double monitor setup and you're like, you know what, I want to watch some Big Brain Bouts, but I also want to play some 2v2, you can make me and Jumi happy at the same time. Was that a golden power? Mate, literally a Pepsi can. Not sponsored by Pepsi, by the way, but it's just Coke. Well, then it's Pepsi, but I don't really like Pepsi Max. I don't know why we got it. It doesn't even say Pepsi. Oh wait, it says maximum taste. It used to really say clearly that it was Pepsi Max, but obviously the regular Pepsi is blue. And whenever it's black, it's Pepsi Max. I don't think that's gonna help me a whole lot, guys. That's going from Pepsi to Pepsi Max is not gonna do great things for me. You just check the stream before starting 2v2 with your buddy. You might just run into you might just run into Jumi tonight, mate. Round 2, main event, 4th, best of 5 of the night. It's been a very long day of video games, but can't say it's been a bad one.
Round 2, fight!
Top left side of Moonwater. So it is going to be one of our cool new unique maps. We are looking at the main base of our UK Zerg. He's turning 16 tonight. And we'll kind of try to celebrate with him by inviting him into the Big Brain Bouts main event. This is Ziba. Husky would love your play. Husky was live again the other day with like a 4 or 5 hour stream, but he did a tiny bit of Starcraft. And I think he's given up and now he's playing WoW as well. Everybody is in the only Fangs. So not Fangs, Pants, but Fangs. I believe that Husky was in it too. The WoW streams are popping off, guys. Everybody's a WoW streamer. I said for a long time that I'm not a video gamer. But clearly lately I've had a lot of fun with that look. And I'm enjoying Mechabellum as well. So maybe I am a video gamer, but WoW is just so unappealing to me. I find it so boring. To me, there is just like no excitement, no hype. I'm not hating on it because obviously to each their own, and I know that millions of people out there love it, and they probably can't understand for the life of them that I like a couple drones going to a mineral patch. But and look at some of the WoW streams, I just don't get it. It makes me feel old because it's just not for me. Yeah, I know Wadi is in, Setvis is in, I think Robbie is in. I think all the streamers that we are familiar with are the only Fangs. Well, anyway, top right side, guys, taking the 1-0 lead. It's our Croatian Protoss. I think the best result of his career was a top 8 finish in the WCS summer in Kiev back then, with a lot of Marjorie magic, as they called it. 8 gateways, Zealot charge, or no Zealot charge, right? Just a couple of Immortals and Zealots. No, there was Zealot charge. This is Goblin. People like it for the social aspect. Yeah, and once more, guys, I'm not saying that like what I like is right. And just because I don't like WoW, people shouldn't like WoW. Clearly, it's a good game. Because so many people freaking love it and they've been playing it forever. And my taste or my enjoyment is not superior to that of other people. I just don't get it. It's just really not for me. It was 2 Immortal charge Zealot. It was Frisk's Marjorie. Yeah. The event where Goblin took out Drogo, and then we had a rematch many years later in the Big Brain Bouts, which I thought was quite fun. At that point, when we did the rematch in the BBB, Goblin and Drogo were friends and on very good terms with each other. During that Kiev event, Drogo wasn't very happy with Goblin. A very spicy moment took place back then. It is the guild, Jim de Ginsel. So basically, it is like one big guild, one big WoW party for everybody that is a content creator. And it doesn't matter if you do Starcraft or Warcraft or other games or you're WoW. It's just a guild for streamers. And some very big streamers are in that guild. And they also welcome the door to smaller streamers. You know, Too Sexy, it's funny that you mentioned that, mate, because I actually read a thread on Reddit, I think, Warcraft 3 Reddit, popped up for me. People asking for the community to show up and show themselves of a better side, because people are sniping Tyler 1 when he's just trying to ladder up and get better in Warcraft 3. And I was like, yeah, Smurfs. Smurfs are just an issue in gaming, man, because people just love showing off, right? They love dunking on lower level players. I personally don't get that either. Well, I get the idea of why it's fun, because winning is more fun than losing in general. The Oracle, by the way, doesn't get much done, but I find it so sad. And it's a lot easier as a streamer to be in a very happy mood when you're winning 95% of your games, right? And then if you then occasionally have a silly loss, you can just kind of shrug it off, but it's just so not real. But yeah, I guess, I don't know. A lot of people don't like real, I guess. They just want to see either happiness. Oh, this guy's in such a great mood. It's like, yeah, no crap. He wins 95% of his games because he's smurfing. Of course he's in a great mood. I want to see them suffer on the ladder. I want to see pain, frustration. That's what I love about watching a streamer. Not that they get angry, but I just want it to be real. I want to see them work for those wins. It's not so much about only learning, right? You can have fun, you can meme, but it should be at a real level. It shouldn't be at a lower level. I get it. I totally agree with the people who made that Reddit thread, and I agree that it's a great chance for the game to grow a little bit. Like a game like Warcraft 3 is not suddenly going to explode, but if you have massive streamers like Tyler 1 playing it, yeah, it would really help if the community shows themselves the best side. But the sad thing is, even if 95% of the Warcraft 3 community would show themselves of their best side, it only takes a couple people to do the same thing over and over again and make a lot of people look bad, right? Well, 95% of the people out there would probably never try to snipe him and just be like, oh, it's awesome that Warcraft 3 is getting some love from famous streamers out there. Well, yeah, it only takes 10, 15 people sitting in a Discord group sniping him all day, every day. No, I didn't meet him. I did meet Reynor's idol, our league streamer. I met him twice, actually. One time at the Big Gabe Cup. Let's talk a little bit about this game. As we have a 5 Tempest, a double Stargate opening coming out of Goblin. The Spire hallway done for Eva. Eva's gonna have to buy some time with Queens and a Spore. I think so far it's looking good. The double Stargate Tempest opening. Eva can lose a Queen here, it's not that bad. He can lose 2 Queens here, it's not that bad. You don't want to lose a hatchery or all your Queens. Who's Xbox? Now losing a first Tempest is indeed big, because you're looking for that magical number of Tempests to one-shot a Queen. Well, if you're gonna lose one early, you're not gonna get that. Goblin is just gonna fly home. Even had some Void Rays, by the way, to reinforce. I mean, I really like this for Eva. Eva has droned up like a mad kid, up to 83 drones. Just maxing out right now, guys, on Roach Corruptor. I'm not a hater. Hello, Mixu. The big Mixu in the chat. Cannon, pylon. XQC streamed 2v2s and got sniped by Maples. I mean, he's a good gamer too now. Yeah, I know. I guess it's easy to judge when you're on this side of things, but obviously life would be better if people don't do that. It is what it is. Same goes for Warcraft 3, I'm sure. Because obviously, like, Starcraft is not massive, but Warcraft 3 is not massive either, right? So if people stream without any delay, I mean, Todd is streaming FFAs with a 15-minute delay. Todd has played Warcraft 3 his entire life, and now he's streaming FFA with a 15-minute delay. That should say it all. I'm sure there's a lot of really lovely nerds out there in the Warcraft 3 scene, but seems like there's a couple donkeys too. Time warp goes down. Eba's supply is big. A lot of it is still in production. He's going very deep with those corruptors. Maybe a little too deep. I mean, he gets the mothership, but we almost have to ask ourselves the question. At what cost? The supply still looks massive for Eba, but his army is honestly a little bit underwhelming. And I don't know where all the supply is, but I don't really see it. He's about to lose 12. Corruptors are going to go one more time, but the corruptor count is nowhere near high enough anymore to really dive on these Tempests. And most of the time, when you max out on Roaches, Ravages, and Corruptors like this, it's the first move out where you're really looking for that finishing blow. And now it's the Protoss who's down 20-30 supply, but this looks like it's in an absolutely amazing spot. Goblin with a clean hold. Eba is going to turn around, hoping for a better fight this time. Roaches chasing down a bunch of Stalkers with Blink. Off creep is tough. Eba does get one of the Tempests, so that is nice. Corruptor's getting a lot of shots off. Might get a second one here. This is where you probably have to turn around Eba. And I know he doesn't want to. Kind of feel like he has to. So many stasis traps everywhere. Eba does see them because he's got an observer in the mix. Drops the corrosive ball, kills one, the other one gets activated. Killed another Tempest there too. It's a real shame that Eba doesn't know. Well, Eba does know. I don't do anything too crazy here. These Corruptors are still important because the new mothership is on the way. The Tempests are out. Goblin's gonna send a bunch of Stalkers to the main. Okay, we're gonna get the Nexus. We're gonna get it. Alright, fine. Good move. Now Goblin a bit out of position. Goblin might have to recall. If Goblin wants to save this base, he has to recall. He is gonna recall. That's a very tiny recall. That was almost like a bluff. And Eba called the bluff, so Eba's gonna get on top of this Nexus. He's gonna casually kill it too. Alright. A young man from the United Kingdom is perhaps starting to turn this game into something. Getting the main and casually getting the fourth is big. Goblin blinks forward there, Eba turns around. We got Hydras in the mix. Obviously Tempests are good in killing Hydras, but if the Hydra numbers are high, like Zealots struggle right here, and Zealots start disappearing real quick. A couple of Corruptors, by the way, would be so lovely, and Eba is going to get a few more. This is turning into a really fun series too. Be a whole lot better if Eba finds a way to win this game, but he killed the main and he killed the fourth. The Goblin temporarily just a 2-base Protoss. Yeah, that was quite the recall by Goblin. Sometimes Protoss players just recall because they want to see the enemy realize that there is a recall, and the recall animation already scares people, so they disengage. Well, Eba didn't disengage. Eba stuck around. Why did Goblin take this base? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think Goblin has played a crazy amount of games on Moonwater. But yeah, it would have probably made more sense to take this one. Maybe he feels it like Tempest, or I think he took it because he opened up with Tempest. And Tempest, oh, Eba. And since Tempests are rather slow, if you have to worry about the main and the bottom right, that takes forever. Now the bases are a tiny bit closer to one another. Corruptors come back into the main base once more. Eba is mining 1400 resources a minute more than Goblin at the moment. 3 Stalkers, not enough to save this Nexus. Yeah, I could have probably taken this one. It is down a ramp, or this one, which is also down a ramp. And taking this one, it could be maybe annoying, defending your mineral line from the other side. I don't think it's for content. I don't think Goblin is playing this series for content. Goblin is playing for the win. It's plain and simple, right? 150 bucks on the line. Making 150 buckies is not easy in the world of StarCraft 2. So if you have a single best of 5 to get it done, well, you're not here to put on a show. Unless you're mega confident. I think like Mana when he was up 2-0 over Nikic. I think he felt very confident. So he gave us a little cannon rush. Like this game a lot more for Eba than the previous one after sniping all these next sides. Really impressive that Eba has managed to transition out of that Roach Corruptor phase. Looked very bad. Goblin is finding some good damage now though with the Zealot run-bys in the bottom left side. Eba is going to try to make this game hectic. Maybe snipe a Cybercore again. These Cybernetic Core snipes, they are really, really impactful. I'm a big fan. You guys know how I love my +2 air weapons. And it gets denied.
Denied.
Well, this entire bottom left side base also gets denied. 22 drones fall, that's a serious number. 9 more Hydras on the way. Eba has not made a spellcaster yet. I'm such a big fan of just having like a random infestor for a fungal. A Viper just to drop some parasitic bombs, but 12 lurkers by the way, that's so many extra lurkers. A couple of them get cancelled by zealots in the bottom left. And a couple of them, oh, that's a lot of money down the drain. Eba. And we could have found a slightly better spot to morph some of these Hydras into lurkers. Eva has lost 9,000 resources more than Goblin. Sniping those bases obviously bought Eva time, but this is why a lot of the Zergies right now are not very active on the ladder. Are not playing in a lot of online tournaments because they're just not enjoying games like this. 16 lurkers in total. Couple of them at home, a lot of them being very annoying on the other side of the map. He is going to run a couple lurkers. Maybe he can kill the cannons before they're done, then it won't be revealed. I don't know how much detection Goblin has. 4 observers. Take a look at where it is. Non-observers, no observers in the bottom right side, but the cannons finishing up is so big. Actually, 1 observer just showed up, so it doesn't matter. But it still helps. Cannon DPS helps. Cannons matter. Eva has spent every single penny he has as he's gonna send a few more units to the bottom right side. He's got no adrenal glands, by the way, while he's making this many extra lurkers. Did snipe the observer there. He sniped the observer. That's always nice. Because that means that these lurkers will survive a little while longer. New observer shows up. Eva snipes that one too. Unfortunately, this damn army is still here. Eva, on his day, well, tomorrow is his day. Tonight is his night. A birthday night. He did use Hydra Dash quite a bit in the first game, but we don't have it this one. To be fair, Eva has really been spending his money and he has been throwing a lot of units at Goblin. He's getting some slightly better traits now, but not a whole lot better. No, Adreno is always sad. Like, he hasn't made a million Zerglings, but 142 Zerglings have gone down. 4 High Templars out. Eba is going to try to jump on this army and try to get one good final fight. Corrupt is getting some really good hits off. Hydras from the bottom as well. It's such a shame we don't have Hydra Dash. Kind of feel like Hydra Dash could have been very impactful here. The first carriers start showing up. Extra Zealots and Stalkers from the bottom. That is a lot of lurkers, by the way. That is a lot of lurkers, but the Protoss units simply don't care. They find a way as Goblin blinks deeper on top of them to at least survive. At least most of them survive. This one Immortal put in some really good work there, getting some big shots up. And that is going to do it after 18 minutes. It is Goblin from Platinum Heroes who takes the 2-0 lead. As he is not here to give birthday presents to Eba. Maybe tomorrow, but apparently not tonight. One last shot for our very talented Zerg from the UK to turn things around. He's turning 16. And he can dream. Maybe next week we'll know what the youngsters in the world of Starcraft 2 can dream of. Whispers of Gold is going to be the next map. There is a chance that Eba picks Protoss. He's allowed to pick Protoss. We don't limit the race switching. I only do that for like Reynor. If I promise somebody there's going to be a TVZ series, then I don't suddenly want Reynor to play off race. But in this series, they are allowed to do whatever the hell they want. What did you think of the Mbappé hot trick? I was watching PSV, to be honest, mate. And PSV Juventus. Apparently the first half was bad. But I was still busy. I think I was streaming, right? I was playing some Deadlock or whatever. But the second half of PSV Juventus was awesome. And the overtime was awesome. What a fantastic game by this Perisic guy. The dude is like 36. A banger goal, man. What a banger goal. I'm not a PSV fan, but on that night I was cheering for PSV a little. I think it's awesome for Dutch football. We're gonna go ahead and get ready for game 3. And I do believe that it is time for some PvP. Unless I looked wrong. I'm a little bit done with the siege tank dealer. 10 minutes into the corner, no sneak peeking. Not everyone can get excited. I get it. You don't have to be. To Germany, Netherlands? In what? Where are we playing? What are we doing? Women's soccer? Oh, banger. Aren't we supposed to be better in women's soccer? I mean, we're clearly better in men's soccer. That's like not even close. That is a match that I personally would not make in the Big Brain Bouts. Netherlands, Germany would be a very one-sided adventure. I believe that in women's soccer we're also supposed to be better. We won a Euros. I think the German ladies are not too hot. We're playing at home. First game of the group. I believe in our Dutch ladies. Onze Leeuwinnen, as we would say. Anyway, game 3, guys. It's a PvP. Bottom right side, the kid who grew up as a Zerg but has been playing a lot of Protoss for the last year. He's gonna try his luck in a PvP here on Whispers of Gold. Can't say I didn't enjoy his Zerg, because I did, and I think he plays really well. But a lot of Zergs are struggling in the matchup, and he is one of them. So he's gonna try his luck with a PvP. This is Iba. Platinum Heroes. Top left side, representing the Platinum Heroes as well. It is our Croatian Protoss. Can he finally get a win on the board again? After Chem and Nikarak denied him from getting the bigger buggies. This is Goblin. Onze meisjes. It sounds a beetje denigrerend, you know. Onze Leeuwinnen sounds better. Our lionesses. Is that a thing? I think that's a thing. I think Goblin was smoking. I think Iba's Protoss is quite good, and I think PvP can be somewhat random. It depends obviously who you are and how you play. I think there are definitely some moments where things can go surprisingly well. Like, it'd not be a massive shock to me to see Iba win a game with Protoss. It would be a massive shock for me to see him win 3 games in a row with Protoss. Yeah, I know, Eric's. Within next Friday we'll know, Boki. Next Friday we will know. Obviously, it's the same, by the way. Like, it's not like, oh, it's ESL and EWC. There is one announcement we're waiting for. We're not waiting for multiple. Maybe like the one secondary announcement that some people can be hopeful for, and I personally don't recommend it because I don't expect it, is a Korean Starcraft announcement. Whether it's like some sort of a GSL or whatever. I would be very surprised if that happens, but I'd be very happy for the Korean scene and for the people who love watching either Korean Starcraft or have dreams of going to Korea and watching Starcraft there. Not counting on that, but I am counting on some EWC news. Surely there's got to be another big announcement on the way. In what way do you mean, Bully? Starcraft related or? Oracle is going to fly towards the main base. 2 Stalkers, by the way, need some support. And that's why Iba has decided to recall his Stalkers. And I think that's a good play. He has on-powered the Stargate. Well, that's good news. I maybe have a little announcement soon as well. But that has more to do with me. That I don't know. Maybe you guys won't find that interesting. But it's very interesting for me. Stalkers and Sentries are battling, an Adept and a Stalker. Iba is getting some pickups here, guys. Iba, can he get one more shot off? Oh, I almost love a pro block. He's gonna try to cut off the retreat path, but maybe Goblin can run all the way to the top right and then recall his units home. Yes. Oh, the side blocker. Well done by Goblin. Good save. But overall, strong start by Iba here in PvP. Displaying some really good understanding. No pylon, by the way, on the low ground. No shield battery on the low ground. Goblin and Stalkers have less HP. Iba. Iba. Uh-oh. Oh, Goblin. Well, Alex. Well. This looks mega bad for Goblin. As the Dark Shrine is not going to be done in time. Our Zerg prodigy from the UK is going to get one on the board with Protoss. Oh, well. Dark Shrine still not revealed, by the way, but Goblin does not even want to sing this one out. Iba with a good scout, an excellent defense, and a devastating counter. A 1, 2, 3. Gets the job done. Perfect timing on the recall. Did a good job on powering the Stargate. Eva gets 1 on the board. Roddy son, no. No announcement like that. No, I hope I have something to share soon. Unless you're really invested in my life or my personal happiness. Doesn't really do much for you guys. But it's nice for me. I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about it. Excited to share it. But don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be yapping about StarCraft. That's always in my plan. Eva says, be right back, toilet. That's all good. I don't think I really need to take a break. I'm having a fun time. Getting married. No. You guys are thinking in the wrong direction. You're invested in Roddy's Fidel rank. It's kind of low right now, mate. The belly is getting bigger. The shots are getting worse. It's not good. I can't say it, yeah, guys. I never want to lie to you guys. So if I'm not allowed to say it, then like I don't want to say no, and then be like, oh, maybe. Next week, probably be able to talk about it. But then we'll have a lot more to talk about. Next week, you guys are only interested in talking about EWC announcements anyway. I don't even know what we're going to do next Friday. Maybe I shouldn't get any games at all. Maybe we just host a podcast next Friday. We just sit here and we yap. That would be fun, Max. Come over. Take him down. I mean, it would be, if they push the timers back again on the website, I'll be really sad. That would honestly be so freaking frustrating. Like, up to this point, I had so much patience, but by now I'm done with it. Like, we need clarity. We need happiness or closure. It's that simple. I have really been thinking about doing some sort of a talk show or podcast with Reynor. But not necessarily about StarCraft. I'm not gonna I don't want to talk to Reynor just about, so, how do you feel about the Roach 66 round timing? I don't find it interesting. No, definitely not politics either. I don't find that interesting at all. People are too angry in politics all the time. Just about life, fun stuff, gaming, adventures, personal stuff. I like yapping with Reynor. Reynor is a great energy, great kid. He's fun. A little bit of storytelling. Definitely no politics. Some StarCraft, of course. I don't know, hype up some kids, whatever. The yap. Not sure if that flies. I don't even know if Reynor is interested in yapping that much with me, but no. Just something fun. I don't know. Like, I do feel that it's such a shame that we don't do more with each other in the StarCraft 2 scene. I feel like there's a lot of really good personalities in StarCraft. A lot of people have fun streams. It's almost a shame that everybody just goes live and does their thing and then goes offline. Like, whether it just comes to playing some custom games or playing some free-for-alls, right, with the multiple streamers, or just talk about certain things. I think Marvel Rivals is a little bit early, Night and Day Life. I do think that if Marvel Rivals continue to do as well as they currently do, there's a chance that they'll make it next year, but I think right now it's a bit too early. And like, when it comes to saving StarCraft, I've said this a million times and I'll say it again. Like, StarCraft, the pro scene would get so much smaller if we don't get selected at EWC. That is correct. But that's not going to forbid anybody from playing StarCraft, having fun with StarCraft, streaming StarCraft, hosting a tournament next week. And of course, like, some of the top tier pro gamers will retire because, you know, they've done this forever and they want to do something else with their life. But no one, until they turn off these servers, no one is forced to stop StarCraft. But for the pro scene as we have it, as we know it, whether it's still smaller, but in a different way, or it actually gets awesome, it is very important. And we'll know in a week. You think we'll keep 60% of the pros? I think if the announcement is as awesome as I hope it is, I think it's going to be a lot more than that. Might even make some people return. But we'll see. If it's nothing, then a lot of them will leave, of course. And some of them will just still play from time to time because they love it. And some of them won't. But that's how it always goes in life, right? People get older, people grow up, they have other things to do in life, and if this is their job, they're supposed to make money. That goes for streamers as well. If it's your job, you're supposed to make money. And it's not bad if you're 16, 17, 18 and you're not making that much. But if you're 30 and you've got a mortgage and you've got kids, you do want to make money. I think that makes sense. Let's go back to our main event. Frostline, map 4. We are sticking with the race that we got a W with. Can he get it done again? That'd be spicy.
Round 4. Fight.
That would be spicy. Bottom left side, it is our 15-year-old Zerg from the UK playing Protoss in Game 3 and Game 4. He's turning 16 tonight at midnight. I wish him a very early happy birthday, and that's why he got invited today. We have followed this kid for years, and it's awesome to see him finally be old enough to play in hopefully some of those big events in the future. This is Iba. Surprised you. Why do you know that, Beyond Nidus? I'm glad that that story made such an impact on you, that you know about my love for Paris Hilton, her one-hit song, The Stars Are Blind. I remember that night very vividly, and I think Todd does too. Good old days, mate. That's when Todd actually went out. These days, it's very hard to get Todd to go anywhere. That's not a poker room. Todd will say yes to every poker trip out there, and he'll say no to literally everything else. Maybe a restaurant. He likes the Pazuki at BJ's. That's what he likes. That's about it. Top right side. He's still up 2-1. But obviously it's gotta feel a little bit annoying losing a PvP against the Zerg. Can he keep it together and can he close it out and walk away with $150 tonight? It's Goblin. Me too, mate. Not just for myself, night and day life, but obviously for all my friends in this community, right? And for all the gamers who are currently making money with this game or hope to get picked up by a big team. I hope it for them as much as I hope it for myself. I do think that Marvel Rivals or Deadlock, and at this point obviously everyone would say like, Ronnie, Marvel Rivals is way bigger. I know. I think one of those games will make it in the future. I think Deadlock is really incredibly good. And I think once they're done with that game, once they continue making it bigger, I think a lot of people will enjoy it. Because knowing how popular MOBAs still are, like Dota and League, I really think that Deadlock is an excellent game in that regard. And Marvel Rivals doesn't look like my kind of game, but hey, if millions of people enjoy it and play it and continue to play it, it probably has a future in esports as well. Seen a lot of like big FPS streamers already stream it. They seem to be having fun. I think this summer is a bit too early for the Rivals. Nah. I really don't believe that, Ron Flex. I think it's way too early for that. Obviously, like after the initial hype, like yeah, it died down a lot, but the game is nowhere near done, nowhere near finished. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Talk about Deadlock tomorrow when I stream it, or the next day, but I really don't agree with it. I think if a game is good, it has a future. As long as it has like some people playing. You know, if you're dropping under 100 players on Steam, then it's tough. If you have 10,000 people playing a very early playtest, I don't think that's that bad. I know, guys, I'm not willing to die on this hill. There is a chance you guys are right and I'm wrong. There is a chance. Like maybe it will never go anywhere. Absolutely. We can only speculate, and everybody's allowed to have an opinion. I just think the game is really, really, really good. And it hasn't like had a single dollar put in marketing yet, and it's so early. But let's move on, because we've got another Dark Shrine. Goblin tried to get a quick Dark Shrine to work. This is, by the way, Max. I don't know if a Spanish goat is still in the chat, but there is nothing more that a Spanish goat loves than a couple stalkers, a couple sentries. Then you can even hallucinate some stalkers by making it seem like you've got a lot of units, and then you actually hit them with some very quick, gnarly DTs. Eva is going to build a robo now. That robo is in the main base, powered by one pylon. But the Dark Shrine is already done. He didn't quite do the max. And he sort of did it. So what Iba could do, guys, is obviously, yeah, hold this ramp on hold position. You can grab all the probes. You can mineral walk them through the army into the main base. And hopefully not take too much damage from these DTs. Eva seems to be kind of sniffing this out. Is Eva gonna see this shimmer here? He doesn't quite see it. He's gonna see it now. Grab all your probes, click them into the main. Robo almost done. But Blink is done, and you can also force field. It's not that bad for Eva. It's not good, don't get me wrong. It hurts a little. Like seeing all these probes currently not mine. He's got no chrono boost either, but it looks... Oh, that's so sad, right? You know, Goblin doesn't know what we know. He doesn't know the timing of these... Hello? Look. These probes are probably wondering, what are you saying F me for? Like, what have I done? I'm actually surprised that he lost 6 workers. DT sneaks into the natural. I don't know. I wouldn't say it was a slam dunk success for Goblin. Not a total mission failure either, because he kept Eva busy. He forced him to pull the probes from the natural, so a lot of lost mining time. A couple workers went down, but playable. Playable for our young man from the UK. You could be right, One Flex. Maybe I should actually play it. And I probably will have to. Because it is important for me to like maybe learn more about games like that and understand them. Not because I want to cast them. I'm not an FPS caster. I have no desire to be one either. Maybe some analysis one day. Perhaps I should play the Marvel Rivals once. And maybe I get addicted. Honestly, it looks mid. It really doesn't look as good as the other game that I'm enjoying. I guess we're all biased towards the things that we like in life. Eva does a good job in sniping another DT. And as he takes a little look, see if Goblin is already... Eva, gotta be very careful. Eva, this is not a play, mate. This is not a play. Oh, he loses the Stalker. He's gonna lose the second Stalker. That's not something you do. That is not something you do. And now Goblin, full of confidence, blinks on this army as well. The game wasn't that bad for Eva. I'm not gonna say it was good, but perhaps like this is very still lacks a tiny bit of experience in these PvP moments. This was not the face of the game to casually run 4 Stalkers into the natural of our opponent, or 5 or 6, whatever he had in mind, and then also go up to 4 bases and move out with our main army. Just a few too many things at once, and it seems like Goblin is gonna stop the losing on the Friday night. Chem and Nicarak were a little bit too much. And I'm sure that Goblin will wish Eva a happy birthday, but not by giving him a win in the main event. And as the 150 buckies this Friday will go to our Croatian Protoss Goblin, as he gets a 3-1 victory, and that makes it a wrap. 4 best of 5s come to an end. It's been a long Friday, 4.5 hours of gaming with, I think, a lot of fun games, especially Nicarak Jumi was excellent. Especially cool to see that we got a couple of the unique maps in there as well. Eba at least got a win with Protoss, so I think he feels good about that one. Unfortunately, the Zerg games were good. Unfortunately, not quite able to close it out. ZVP is a tough matchup right now. There is a reason why a lot of the Zergies are upset. And there's a reason why a lot of them complain. And I get it. On the other hand, they had it pretty good for a long time too, right? Can we talk about that? It's not like it's been years of suffering for the Zergies, you know. It's a little tough right now, but they had it pretty good for a while too. Anyway, obviously we're memeing there. I'm not interested in getting into a deep and balanced discussion at 10:30 on the Friday evening. I can only tell you guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for stopping by. Of course, all the games will be posted on the Basilisk YouTube channel. Once more, big shout out to my team. Not just for the gifted subbies, but the biggest of shout outs for obviously running this event every single Friday. Every Friday we give out $500 to the pro gamers or semi-pro gamers, sometimes complete amateurs. I think that's awesome. If you guys want to watch it back, you guys can do that all on YouTube. Little subscription or a couple thumbs up here and there go a long way. May only take you a couple seconds, but it makes them happy. And if it makes them happy, it makes me happy, because we're all big one happy family. And then we've got Reynor, but you know, eventually you just get a kid. He's there, and you have to love him too, I guess. Other than that, one big happy family over here. I had a great time. Shout out to the 8 players that played tonight. I give you guys one last little overview. Inexorable, a Brazilian Terran was down 0-1. He turned things around and he got a 3-1 victory. Cham made a lot of roaches and links. Had no units that shut up, but he didn't care. Cham does Cham things. and he gets a 3-1 victory in what could have been, according to the pro gamers, a theoretical 4-0 for Lemon, but Sham is just built different. Jumi and Nikarok, obviously gamers that could play main events, played a really close, fun, contested best of 5. In the end, it goes to Jumi, but it was a really cool series. Last but not least, unfortunately, it wasn't the night of our birthday boy, but still a fun series. I think some really cool ZVP and a PvP win, but Goblin gets 150 buckies. That's all we got today, guys. Happy birthday, Iba. I know we're a little bit early, right? 90 minutes early for us, 2 hours and 30 minutes early for you, but I hope you have a great weekend with friends and family. Enjoy your 16th. I don't know if you do sweet 16 stuff over in the UK, but hope you have a great weekend, matey. And I'm looking forward to hopefully see you in a lot more events in the future.